DeMeco Ryans talking about Dalton Schultz, who needs a bounce-back year. I think this offense needs Dalton Schultz to have a bounce-back year.
Dalton has continued to improve throughout camp, just watching him from day one. Like, he's came out with a phenomenal attitude, urgency to get better in the running game, also in the passing game. And people that have been here, you've seen him make some tremendous catches in the passing game and looking like the old Dalton. And the guy we thought, we would get coming from Dallas, guy who made a ton of plays in the passing game, that's who I'm seeing showing up this camp. So it's good to see him. He's looking fresh, playing fast, making plays, great catch radius, making big plays in the passing game. Expect to see more of that.
The fact that DeMeco said, this is the guy we thought we were getting.
Yeah.
That's about as close as you get to DeMeco just flat out saying, like, that whatever that was last year, that ain't it.
Well, and he did that with the offensive line earlier in the offseason,
That's
too.
That's true. He
right?
said there needed to be a different energy or a different
there's been
improvement in the culture. I mean, that's just flat out. That's easier because you're barely even talking about the same guys now with the offensive line. The new guys, there's enough new guys brought in that you're kind of giving some of the guys a pass.
I like it
though too. Yeah. No, that's where I think it's notable. Not that DeMeco is being a jerk or anything, but it's kind of nice that it's acknowledgement. Like, look, last year, and I understand why Nick, said what he said last year when he talked about, hey, it's kind of a false narrative that the offensive line is a problem or the problem.
Yeah.
Because he was partly accurate. It wasn't just the offensive line. It was the tight ends. It was the wide receivers. It was the offensive coordinator. There were a lot of things wrong. But the offensive line certainly was an issue last year. So it's nice to hear kind of acknowledgement after the season and now in training camp that we had to fix some of these things. And that one of those things is Dalton Schultz. Hopefully he's got to look more like he did, not just back in Dallas, but I think in 2023. That was what it was a little bit of surprise for the way DeMeco
I would take
phrased
that,
it.
Dalton, in a heartbeat.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, what DeMeco said that it was like the guy we got when he came over from Dallas. I kind of felt like, well, I mean, it wasn't like he was bad in 2023.
Right.
You guys did.
Right.
You gave him a new contract.
Yeah.
But it's nice to hear. It's an acknowledgement.
Yep. And Dalton Schultz met with the media on Saturday too. This was a fun one here. Dalton himself acknowledged, I think in the very first answer at the press conference, that he was dealing with some things last year, and it sounded like it was things that were physical. So this was actually Landry followed up with this, Landry Locker, and said, point blank, he said, were you hurt last year? Here was the answer.
That's hard. Everybody's hurt, dude. Like, no matter. Right. Just some, rehabs and some deficiencies that I had. But, I don't know, everybody's hurt, dude. Like, nobody's fresh, especially in the playoffs. Like, you ain't playing somebody at 100%. That's the beauty of the game, is to try to find a way to give everything you have into whatever percentage that you want to call your health at that point. You know what I mean? Everybody's fighting through that. And so that's just a battle. It's the war of attrition that we play. And I was happy to get an offseason under my belt where I could just kind of refocus on getting my body back to a really nice baseline.
I was trying to figure out whether it was an aggressive dude or not. And at first it sounded like that was an aggressive dude. Dude.
Well, there was
like a surfer who's upset.
There was a dude that didn't make the cut at the very beginning.
Started off with a dude.
Started with a dude in a 4-second pause and a glare at Landry.
And then later on, in about a few of his other answers, he was using "dude" pretty liberally.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't think it wasn't unique.
Would you like to hear some more?
But let me make quick the point.
Sure.
I think that the way I read that was, yeah, he was definitely hurt, but he also doesn't want to get up there and use injuries as an excuse. So he's saying everybody's injured, everybody's fighting through something.
This is true.
I think that it might have been above and beyond last year with Dalton. I hope it was. I hope that retroactively it was injured.
It's an explanation, at least.
And it's something that could be a lot better this year.
Yeah. All right, so we're probably tight on time. Which of these answers do you think has more dudes in them?
Okay.
Him assessing his performance from last year, or his talk about the improvement of the tight end, Brevin Jordan.
I bet that Brevin Jordan one. Yeah, that
probably
one.
so. All right, let's do that one, Ben. The improvement of the tight end room with Dalton Schultz.
We got a really good group of 6 guys, really. I think Brevin brings y'all saw Cleveland a couple years ago. That dude's fast. He brings something that me and Cade maybe don't quite have in terms of just raw speed. And dude, Brevin looks so good. He's watching him run, he looks like, I'm excited for him. just to see like him put together like a full year. The kid looks fast. And so I think between, I already talked about Cade, but like between us three, we're very unique in like what we bring and like what we offer. And I'm really excited to see Kaylee, who's got a very strong tight end background, how he kind of employs different guys in different spots and doing the things that might suit us well.
Okay, so we got one dude used as a noun.
Yeah, one dude used in its classic sense. Yeah,
and another one that was an interjection. That's what we were looking for.
That's what I realized, until I realized, it turned out that there were several people who were insulted by me saying buddy so much.
Yeah.
There's a cultural difference in the black community and the white community and how we use buddy.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you say buddy, it can mean different things.
Mm-hmm.
So likewise with dude, I think that's our version of buddy.
It is?
Dude is the white people's buddy.
It's the pale buddy.
Like, dude could be like, hey, dude, but it very much can be like, dude here.
Yeah. Yeah, message. And I thought the same thing at the time, but I felt uncomfortable saying it. Texter, I think you were thinking of Willis from Different Strokes, not Theo from the Cosby Show.
I just assumed that all child actors had drug issues.
Todd Bridges played Willis in Different Strokes.
Todd
he
Bridges
had
had
major issues.
Yeah,
Okay. So I think that might have been who you were thinking of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of 80s sitcom involving a family, same thing.